Hello. Welcome to Real Talk with Rebecca, the prelude to Live with Rebecca Lynn Pope, which is coming with live guests. Tonight's topic is when a woman wants you. When a woman wants you. Hello, everyone, as you're coming on. And Hardy is not going to let me be great tonight. He's in the background in his little house. When a woman wants you. Hi, love. Hi, everyone, as you're coming on. I'm going to have to call Carrie. Hey, from Trinidad. Oh, you're checking it. Trinidad. I love Trinidad. Hi, Flying Fox 95. Hold on. I'm going to have to ask Carrie Pope to come get Hardy because he's not letting me be great. Takia. Hello, honey. Hello. Jazzy Jeff. I'm trying to hear this, Little John. Good. Don't call me. Listen, Carrie, I'm calling you. Please come get Hardy. He is making all kinds of noise down here. Listen, do you hear him barking?
Yes, please.
No, baby, please come get Hardy.
Place me on speaker.
You're on speaker.
So, ladies and gentlemen, tonight, starring with Rebecca is Hardy.
Co-starring Hardy tonight, right?
When a woman wants you.
Real Talk with Rebecca, When a Woman Wants You, co-starring Hardy.
I'm on the way.
Thank you, baby. Okay, guys. So he's going to come get Hardy for me. You said my name correctly. Awesome. When a woman wants you, she will compromise. Good one. Thank you, love. Hardy's bark is so cute. Okay, I saw a guy from up here. Hi, from London. 50 Shades of Rose. Hi, over in London. Hi, Hardy Paws from Maryland. Hold on. Let me come up here. The guy. I need help. Can you tell me when a woman wants to heal and fight for her marriage? I think you might be who made the comment over on YouTube, Big Wavy. A gentleman made a comment on one of my videos over on YouTube, and he was saying, help me. You know, I'm trying to hold on to my marriage. I'm trying to hold on to my wife, but I'm tired. You know, I'm tired of doing everything. I'm tired of being the one to hold it all together, constantly chasing her, constantly trying to make her happy. You know, he was giving feedback saying, you know, I want to hold my marriage together. I want, you know, my wife, but it just seems like I'm alone in this. And so this one is for you, Big Wavy, too. So this is for you. When a woman wants you. Okay, that is the topic for tonight. Please make sure you subscribe, turn on notifications, and share, guys. Okay? So before I get started tonight on this topic, first of all, I want to give a couple of caveats, right? First of all, this may cause some of you to break up. This may cause some of you to break up. This may cause you to really take a hard look at some of these relationships and marriages you have gotten yourself into. Kings, I'm talking to my fellas tonight. I know we're going to have lots of ladies tune in, but kings, I need you to hear me. All of you are not in loving, mutual relationships. Little John Robert says, he's laughing, right? Because, listen, sometimes you have signed up for situations because you were so in love with her. You convinced her. You won her over. You wooed her. You swept her off her feet. You did everything it took, right? Rich Alley Cat, thank you. You did everything it took. You pulled out all the stops for this one. Because you were absolutely crazy about her. And I think, fellas, every man has found themselves in that situation where you have just been smitten. It's the initial infatuation that turns into love. You're convinced, you know, that she's into you too. You miss all the red flags. You miss all, I mean, there were red flags. There were definitely red flags. Little John Roberts, she's just not that into you. But fellas, listen, do you guys understand that you miss the flags even more than women do? When you're really, right? When you're really into someone, fellas, you don't see, you are blind, right? You're blind. Why are you blind? ego, male testosterone. I mean, like, listen, guys, fellas, I've seen it firsthand. Women have egos too, but fellas, that testosterone running through your bloodstream that makes you a conqueror, the aggressor, the competitive, strong, challenged man, like, you know, the more harder something is, the more you're going for it. But sometimes you've missed the red flag. Sometimes you've gone too hard for what you want and you've gotten what you want, but you just didn't know what you were getting yourself into. You missed all the signs that she wasn't, like I said in the other video, right? Everything that glitters isn't gold. Everything that glitters isn't gold. And so them pretty eyes and them cheekbones and them dimples and that cute little booty and her small waist or her hips, her size, whatever did it for you. Her little freckles, right? Her cute little laugh, right? Just saw the red flags and tried to F anyway, lust and love them anyway. Okay, you said it for me. You said it for me, love, right? The wavy baby 2 times said it for me. It's the sex appeal. The guys, listen, and ladies, for any of you who have not heard me talk about testosterone, really quickly, because I know this hour is going to by so fast, guys. I was going through perimenopausal, got my hormones checked. I was low on testosterone. My doctor gave me a boost of testosterone to help balance me out. Baby, Rebecca Lynn Pope was looking for Carrie in the daytime with a flashlight. When I tell you Mr. Pope could just bend over and I'd be like, ooh, a snack. Oh my God. Like literally I was chasing Carrie around the house on this boost of testosterone. I was losing my mind. Any like muscle, skin, anything. That testosterone had me on such overdrive, you guys. I told my doctor, I was like, Jada, look, boo, Mr. Pope is loving this boost of testosterone, but is this how men feel? Is this like thinking about sex 800 times a day? Noticing every curve, listen, real talk. I was like, is this how men feel? And she said, yeah, probably like teenage boys. Yes, literally teenage boys. And because I felt like I was like climbing the walls, like it's all I could think about. It was crazy. So ladies, I want you to understand that our physiology is different. Depending on a man's testosterone level and his drive and his age. So when we say, yes, women are visual too, yes, we're visual too. But are you as sexual driven, visual, climbing the walls like, oh my God, she's so fine? No, God made us different. Okay. God is making sure that the human species stays alive, right? Because men are always going to be chasing that tail. Okay? Real talk. So that being said, fellas, these eyeballs, right? That desire can really get you in trouble. Because when you see what you like, I know Carrie Pope is on here cracking me up with it, right? When we getting you the next shot? Time for the next shot. Look, anyway, don't make me blush. Oh God. Listen, right. Okay. So New Jerusalem says that testosterone kick in, you'll be calling people that you don't even like. Thank you. New Jerusalem. Listen, testosterone, ladies, for men is no joke, which is why women complain all the time. Oh, men will sleep with anybody. Honey, when that little monkey gets on your back, listen, crazy. And I understand that and I get it. So that being said, fellas, these eyeballs, the lust aspect can get you into big trouble. And now listen, so then when you really find someone you like, you're like I said, you're missing all the red flags because she's just got to be an angel. She's so pretty. She's just so divine. She's got to be sent from heaven. right? Gotta be sent from heaven. She's just got to be the one. She's checking all your boxes. You literally miss all, right? Now you like in it, and some of y'all put a ring on it. Porto Crabel, especially when you're young. Yes. But Porto Crabel, can we actually be honest? Fellas, can you be honest and say some of your choices when you were young created an appetite for things, created a pattern for you, created a type, right? And then it's hard for you to break that cycle because you like what you like. You like what you like. But then it's so hard for you to find what you're really looking for in that type, right? The good woman treating you right. So, and then back to the male ego, back to testosterone. When a woman wants you, right, it's obvious. But when you get blinded by all of what you want, now it's not so hard. And it's only when you're now in the situation, right? Lil John Roberts, glad it didn't go too far though. Good. So here's the thing. When a woman wants you, fellas, when a woman wants you, I'm going to get real and I'm going to talk about some real love. Some really true interest. True interest. I'm not talking about when you lead with your money. I'm not talking about when you lead with benefits of you. Okay? I need you to hear me right now. I want to talk about when a woman really wants you. Not your car, not your money, right? Is it still possible for you to like what you like and still get a good woman? Yes, depends on what you like, Stephen. Depends on how rare what you like is what you like. Right? Zar the earner says, I've progressively made better decisions in women. And that's what happens, Zar, as we get older. We start to make better choices because we're wisening up, right? You should be wisening up. You should be learning your lessons. You should be making better choices as you're getting older. That's part of life experience and wisdom, right? So here's the thing. As you are making these choices, guys, here's what's so important because this is what gives relationships longevity. A woman who really wants you is going to enjoy your company, right? Thank you. Back to my main point, my first point, the wavy baby 2 times. Do not lead with your wallet. Do not lead with that money. Do not lead with the gold unless you want a gold digger. I said it. Ladies, we don't like some of these terms, but I'm talking to the fellas tonight. This is for them, so y'all gonna hang in here with me, okay? If you don't want a gold digger, don't lead with the gold. Men with their ego, right? The machismo, guys, the testosterone. If you've been a high earner, if you're someone who's been very successful, you want to show it off. The pressure on men to be showy, to have the flashy car, the flashy clothes, the flashy house, to have all it. The pressure is on you guys to be doing that, especially in now society. High value men, high value this, make 6 figures. The pressure is on you, right? To show and tell. But here's what that attracts. It attracts women who are only interested in you for that. Now we've got a problem. Keith the Chief, did you cotter or botter? Great phrase, Keith. Did you cotter or botter? Because then you're mad. You're mad when you get down the road in a committed relationship and you got to keep up this high maintenance treatment. She's not okay Netflix and chilling with you. She's not okay going and just getting an ice cream cone and a walk in the park. She's not okay getting some Popeye's chicken and just sitting in the car and eating chicken and laughing with you. She's not okay just going on a picnic. If it ain't a 5-star restaurant, if you ain't picking her up in the Maserati, if you ain't upgrading your house all the time, buying her bags, come on now, right? But when a woman wants you, When a woman really, really, really wants you for you, can I tell you the truth? It don't matter where you go. It don't matter what you do. It don't matter if you're, if you start taking trips and you get to the point where you're financially able to do trips and out of the country and you're upgrading your car, your house, that's all icing because she was with you when you didn't have that. Because she's down for you. She's down for you. She was down for you when all you could afford was the ice cream cone dates and the coffee dates. She was down for you when you were making dates fun and cute because you were on a budget. How do I know what I'm talking about? Mr. Pope and I met when we were both on the downside coming out of divorces. We were both rebuilding our lives. When I met Mr. Pope, it didn't take no flash. And I know this from the men that I have really, really liked. It wasn't about the money. It wasn't about the flashy. It was about how I felt around you. It was about our conversations. It was about being such great friends. Right? It was about enjoying time. It was about that feeling like I could talk to you about anything. It was literally, Carrie and I were sitting over making a commercial for one of our courses today. And we're literally like cracking up and laughing because there's like bloopers, we keep messing up the video as we're trying to do the little scripts and we're just cracking up and laughing. And then he's making fun of himself because he has his Spanglish accent. When we were in Mexico, you guys, Carrie be speaking English, but trying to be in a Mexican accent like he's speaking Spanish. Anyway, I'm making fun of him. We're cracking up. Ed Candugan Jr. Ed Candugan Jr. I'm 27. I'll tell you right now, our men don't understand this. 90% lead or fake or a lifestyle to attract women. Yes, a lot of men feel the pressure to fake it. Fake it. Guys, listen, this is how you know someone's really into you. You don't even start by wooing her or courting her with fancy. If you got money, fellas, I dare you to get you a second, third car that's not so flashy, like a little runaround car, and you pick her up on the first date or you meet her on the first date in just the little runaround car, the little Honda, right? The little Honda, the little Toyota. I know businessmen, right? Men who literally, they make a lot of money, but they've made that money. They're self-made. And so they know what it is to go without. Do you know most really self-made men I know and millionaires and six-figure men are like frugal? It's not like social media. The self-made millionaires I know, guys, don't even buy designer stuff. And they have like one nice car. They have a nice home, but they're in their work truck most days. Cause I know a lot of men, self-made men from like construction, real estate, lumber, blue collar, self-made men, right? Trucking companies. It ain't all this flashy, like social media, right? Anyway, so let me say this, guys, I dare you to get strategic. I dare you to be like, no, somebody needs to love me for me. Somebody needs to love my friendship, my conversation. Fellas, women fall in love with what they hear. They fall in love with how you make them feel. When a woman wants you, she's going to make time for you, right? She's going to make time. She's available. It's not going to be no games where like, oh, I'm not available. I can't see you this week. No, I'm not. No, well, when are you available? Oh, not till next Tuesday. When a woman's really into you, she's making time for you. She starts laying people off. If she's dating and she's been actively dating people, when you roll up and you start dating her and wooing her, honey, you start shutting it down because she likes you, because she wants you, right? She gonna literally shut it. She begins to not be interested in anybody else. She's available for those dates. She's available for whatever you're wanting to do because she just want to be around you. She enjoys your energy. She loves how she feels when she's around you, right? Alex Joyner says, I learned that Steve Jobs showed me that when I met him in his used Prius. Fellas, listen to what I'm saying. She just likes you. Likes you. It's not about all these benefits and extra. So when you start, so if you're in a situation right now, I'm going to talk to the gentleman who left a YouTube comment. And he's saying, you know, he's got a wife that he's just exhausted. He's exhausted. He is literally running circles, trying to always make her happy. Babe, I would venture the guess that you've been doing that from the time you dated her. And she's one of those women who had women in her ear. You crazy, girl. You stupid. Well, I'm just really not that into him. Girl, you dumb. You better marry him. That's a good man. He gonna take care of you. You better marry him. And so literally, you done married somebody that really wasn't that into you. And that's why it feels like it's so hard. That's why it feels like you can't ever relax. You can't ever just be you. You can't ever, right? Who's trying to share this grilled cheese and a Saturn iron? Listen, guys, seriously. Kerry Pope, he had an older Jaguar. When I met him, honey, we would get in that Jaguar. We would sit, eat chicken wings in the car. It was an older car. It wasn't brand new, right? His house wasn't all big. We got together and started scaling up, right? Listen, all this ready-made rich lifestyle shit, because that's what it is. Ready-made. It's not real. It's not real. See, too many people are on the come up. And fellas, can I tell you, when a woman really wants you, it's not about all that. And that's part of the problem, right? The women you tend to choose are looking at you as a come up, an upgrade. The only thing they're bringing to the situation is looks. Stop and think about the women you've had the biggest problems with. It's not the hardworking women. It's not the women with the really great work ethic. It's not the women, right, who are down to earth, grateful. Little John Roberts, it's exactly the same thing for us when we're really into a woman. Exactly. Exactly. She's making time for you. She is considerate of you. She compromises to meet you in the middle. When a woman's really wants you and she's really into you guys, you don't have to be perfect. Carrie and I were just talking about that at lunch. You don't have to be perfect. Love covers a multitude of issues, a multitude. When a woman's naturally attracted to you, naturally into you. Ladies, you can vouch for me. When you've really, really liked someone and you really, really been crazy about them, doesn't all that crazy stuff that you had as all these preferences and that list, how many of you can be a witness and say and be honest, all that goes out the window? When you're really into someone, all this stuff you said, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, you were like, well, he's A and B, right? Real talk, Bella, that's why I'm happily married the way my husband made me feel, right? And that's why one of the things I've told fellas for years, even from my matchmaking days, I've told fellas for years, fellas, if you can just focus on talking good, if you can focus on listening to her, if you can focus, right, on listening to her personality type, what she needs, right? It goes a long way. Carrie paid attention. Carrie listened. He learned what was important to me, right? Glad you were speaking. Wait, it's how you made me feel. Hold on, I'm trying to come back, baby. Glad you were speaking on this, Mrs. R. Glad you're speaking on this, Mrs. R. This high value men thing is exhausting. They want kind. I can't go. Right. The list goes out the window, guys. Women make exceptions for who they really like. And part of the biggest issue, guys, is a lot of the time, fellas, this is what's hard. A lot of the women you want don't want you. Ouch. They're not really into you. You want them to be into you. You think they're into you. You're blinded, right? You're in the fairy tale. You're in in your head, like, why wouldn't she want me? I'm the man, right? The same thing that women do when they're really into someone. They ignore all the signs. They ignore everything that he's showing, right? And then when you're seeing that she's really not into you, what do? You go harder. You go harder. My 18-year-old son, last year, he went through a bad breakup. And we had lots of conversations. And now as he's dating at 18, he went on a date one time. And I said, how was the date? He was like, it was cool. I said, you like her? He's like, yeah, I like her. I said, are you going to go out with her again? He said, no. I said, why? He said, because she's not into me like that. He says, Mom, it doesn't matter who I like. It matters who likes me. I'm not about to break myself for anybody ever again who's really not that into me. And I sat there, this is my 18-year-old, guys, and I sat there like, wow. And that works both, that's right, it works both ways, guys. But our egos can't handle it. And through that lesson, through that breakup with my son and all of our conversations, he learned somebody's just either into you and you do it for them, or they don't. They either like you, right? Or they don't. Period. You're not going to have to poppy tan. The word of God tells us not to chase women. So this energy about what she wants is, right? At the end of the day, your ego can't have you chasing people that don't want you. And that's really hard, fellas, because just like women have egos, but you guys have it in spades. Right? Your ego gets the best of you. And you're like, so she's not showing interest. Oh, she's just playing hard to get. Or she's just, no, she's really just not that into you. Women are not that great of actresses. Women are not as good at pretending and acting as men. He learned early, yes. And as I listened to him, I was like, if we could learn this at that age, how much heartbreak would we have saved ourselves if we would have learned that at a young age? He says, it doesn't matter who likes me. It doesn't matter who I like. It matters who likes me. He is wise, benchmark 89. He is. Since 82, he says, sometimes it's difficult to tell whether you should be persistent or let it go. Can I tell you how you can know this? Since 82, here's how you know what to do. If you are making overtures and you're inviting her out, okay, you're inviting her out. You're inviting her out to dates. You're wanting to see her because you really like her. And she doesn't accept the dates. She's not taking the opportunity to see you. Cut it. If you feel like you're having to force to try to get her to see you, if you feel like you have to, it's like squeezing, like, like you're having to literally wrestle her down to be able to see her, she's not into you. Women who are really into you, fellas, women who want you, are going to make it pretty easy to see them. They're going to make it pretty easy. Right? Because they want to see you too. This is why I'm explaining, Neil the Real Deal says, unfortunately, typically you have to experience the ego check to know what he found out. Yes, Neil. Yes. And then he has a mother and a father who are so well versed in high IQ in this stuff to have these conversations with them, right? To be able to change the narrative and get him to learn how to vet, right? Learn how to do this stuff well. So if she's not making it a priority to see you, she's not into you. Nobody is that busy. We all make time for what really matters to us. We all make time for what matters to us. Nobody is so busy that they can't respond to a text message within a few hours. Nobody's that busy. Nobody. So fellas, if she's not responding to messages, if she's not accepting your offers for dates, keep it moving. And that's what's really hard, guys, because out here in this dating game, the dating world, it's going to be this back and forth until you meet someone who really likes you and you really like them. You're going to like somebody a lot. She's not going to be into you. Someone's going to like you a lot. You're not into them. Carrie said, I would drive 50 minutes one way to see Rebecca 4 times a week when dating. And he's telling the truth. He wanted to see me and I wanted to see him. And he knew, I told him like from the very first week we met that I wasn't a big driver. I didn't like driving at night. He lived far away. To this day, I'm not a driver. He took it upon himself to do most of the driving. We were seeing each other 3-4 times a week. But I'm making time for him. He's making time for me, right? He's driving to me. We're sitting in the car, guys, eating ice cream. We're going to the park. We're getting coffee, right? These are not 5-star restaurants. We're going to, Carrie, do you remember the $3 movies? I think it was like $3 or $5. We would drive to like Duluth to go to the little, we had the little Groupon or little thing to go to the movies, real cheap. See, y'all don't want to hear the real because see, that ain't sexy. That ain't IG lifestyle. That ain't lives of the rich and fabulous, right? Real talk. I was into him. He was into me. We enjoyed each other's company. Had I dated men with money? Yeah, I'd met men with money. They weren't Carrie Pope. Real talk, guys. Stop and hear what I'm saying. He got me. He understood me. The conversations were different. We were so compatible. We looked at the world the same way. Our conversations. Yes, we were in love. Right? We were in love. We fell in love. Guys, the emotions, the connection, the chemistry. I told y'all on the first date. Right? We would go to Dave & Buster's and get hamburgers. We would go to Applebee's. Remember the 2 for $20? Right? Remember the 2 for $20, guys? At Applebee's? Right? Guys, we had lots of inexpensive dates. Lots of inexpensive dates. And we just enjoyed each other. Carrie and I fell in love over a summer and fall, having inexpensive dates and having fun. Fellas, can I tell you, we did picnics in the park, right? Girls these days want 5-star restaurants. And that's what I'm saying, fellas. You don't want that girl. You don't want her. She doesn't want you. She wants the experiences. She wants the benefits. Seriously, you don't want that girl, guys. You're not going to be able to keep it up. It's too much work. Carrie and I enjoy each other. We could sit on the couch. Guys, we can sit on the couch, turn on a movie, crack up, eat popcorn. We can work out together in the morning, have coffee. We don't have to be doing a whole lot. Do we have lots of money now? Do we do whatever we want and eat at 5-star restaurants on a Tuesday or Thursday whenever we want? Yes. Do we drive Mercedes and BMWs now? Yes. Do we have, yes, we have all that. Do we go on 5-star vacations? Yes. But initially when we met, we were about in the same boat. We were both rebuilding. Now, everyone's not in that situation. If you already have money, fellas, If you're already balling, if you already have reached a certain level of success, you're going to have to dial it back. Dial it back. You're going to have to manage your ego. You're going to have to manage your ego because you can't afford to lead with everything you're willing to do. I'm just saying real talk. You can't afford to lead with that because when a woman wants you, she wants you for you. For you. Real talk. But if you're leading with all the other stuff, how are you going to know that? How are you going to know that? Men message me and email me from all over the world. And they're talking about situations with women where they love these women. They're trying to make it work. And guys, can I tell you, when I read these emails, to me, it has, she's not into you all over it. As I read your stories, you're sitting here killing yourself, trying to make something work with someone who's just not really that into you. And she's breaking your heart and she's making you kill yourself. You're so stressed out. You're so unhappy. And that's not fair for you. Thank you guys who are buying badges, right? Let her experience the real you, not your things. Tina, yes. Because to be honest, we live in a culture where so many men are setting the example for clout, right? And numbers, and women like, oh, you know, it's the number of women you can get. It's the car you drive. It's the money you make. It's all of this. But when it comes to love, love doesn't have anything to do with those things. Love doesn't have anything to do with the car you drive. Love doesn't have any. Can I tell you where it's Instagram lifestyle gets it all wrong? Is because most people who fall in love, guys, aren't rich when they fall in love. They work hard together to build a great life. It's not the come up. It is us working in partnership on common goals to buy property, to invest, to pay off our house, right? Some of the cultures that Black people look at and say, they're so much further ahead than us. They're so much further ahead financially. They're more of them have higher rates of marriage, more. Guys, listen to what I'm saying to you. You have to be able to get with a woman that you can grow with, that's going to help make you better, that's going to help you grow your bottom line, not be a liability, not be a dependent, not be someone who's just always spending, because she's trying to keep up with the Joneses and wants to be an Instagram model and an influencer. We get honest about it? You got to be with somebody who's going to be a mother to your children, who are going to teach your children good morals and values and work ethic, right? Literally, you want to be able to be with a good person. Forget about just it's a good woman. It's a good person. A person with high morals and values and somebody who's not entitled. Because at the end of the day, you need a life partner. Fellas, can I tell you something I know for sure? If you keep acting like you got this and you can carry it all by yourself, and you keep trying to carry the weight of the world on your shoulders, and then you just add a wife to that equation and you add children to that equation, do you know how exhausted you're going to be? Do you understand that it's too much? That you need help? That that's what God created woman and man for? That we need each other to navigate this thing called life? You need a life partner. You need a help meet. It's what God calls it, right? A help meet. Scripture says, Paul said in the scripture, guys, I'll take it biblical for you for a second. He said, I'd rather you not marry at all. I'd rather you run your race because you can run faster and better by yourself without all of the distractions and the responsibility that comes with marriage. But if you're going to get married, right? If you decide you want a partner, you need to be so strategic about that partnership. Because you'll be up in a situation, honey, where you can't get, okay, let's get real for a second. I have been in situations in dating before I met Mr. Pope where I have businesses. I'm an entrepreneur. Everybody can't be with an entrepreneur. Everybody's personality type isn't conducive to being with an entrepreneur. I would date somebody and they seem like they so into me, but now you a distraction. You don't know how to just let me work. You're emotional. You're all over the place. I can't even focus. I can't execute. Fellas, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. You need to be out here getting it. You got the weight of the world on your shoulders. You got to be a provider. You got to be a protector. You got to be a good man, right? So you don't need somebody who's a liability, a taker. You don't need somebody always distracting you, problematic, drama, right? Drama, always something, never happy. She wasn't happy before you met her. She wasn't okay. She wasn't happy with herself before you met her. But your ego gets you involved and thinks you can rescue her, raise her up. You hear me? Little John Roberts. I'd rather have a life partner, a friend first. A friend first. You need somebody that's going to be a help, an asset to your life, not a liability. You need some additions, not subtractions. You need a soft space to land. You need a safe space in this crazy world. We go out here every day trying to conquer, but you need a safe space. You need somebody that can be your best friend. I don't care if you ain't got nobody else to talk to. You know your wife is the one person in the world who gets it. She understands me. She loves me. She doesn't judge me. She sees all the good in me and she sees all the bad stuff too and still sees me as great. Still believes in me, still loves me, still supports me, encourages me. Fellas, if a woman comes into your life and you're doing worse 1 year later than you were when she came in, something's wrong. If things are you hearing me? If a woman comes into your life and when you met her, you were doing okay. You were stable. You were happy. Things were going in the right direction. And then all of a sudden you meet somebody and things start going downhill. That's called spiritual feedback. That's called God letting you know this person is not healthy for you. This person is toxic. God is giving you spiritual feedback. Right? Hold on. John says she at least told me I was the best thing that ever happened to her. And she was right. Guys, everyone's not ready for a healthy, loving relationship. Right? Everyone's not ready. Everyone is not equipped. Seriously. People nowadays, women and men have not been groomed to be in good relationships. Women and men have not been taught, have not had role models to teach them how to be good mothers, good fathers, good husbands, good wives. So everybody's winging it. Winging it. And what does that mean? It means that if you meet somebody with a really good heart, you guys have to be willing to put in the work. You have to be willing to learn how to become a good husband, a good father. You have to be willing to learn how to become a good wife, become a good mother. It takes learning. It takes studying it. Because sadly, not everybody has great role models. And you don't want to repeat the same mistakes as your mother, your father, your grandparents if they didn't have healthy relationships, if their track record isn't so great. So here's the key, guys. Fellas, you have to do your work. You have to work on you. Part of that is life coaching. Part of that is counseling. You got to work on you. You got to make sure you're doing your part. Can I tell you the equation for a healthy relationship? The healthy equation for a loving, happy, healthy relationship is a happy man, healthy man, and a healthy, happy woman. Right? It's not you overcompensating for her and her overcompensating for you. The equation for a healthy relationship is each individual being responsible for their own well-being and mental health, emotional well-being, psychological well-being, spiritual well-being. It takes being mature. And then these two people can have a healthy relationship. Healthy, together. Why? She's doing her work. He's doing his work. Can I tell you the deal breaker I would have in dating if I were you? And this is for ladies and fellas. Here's the deal breaker I would create. If you are meeting someone and dating someone, you meet someone, you're dating someone, and you begin to see that they've got some issues, and you know your own issues because you're doing your work. You first got to lead by example, guys. You got to lead, fellas, by example. You need to have a counselor. You need to have a life coach. So as you meet these crazy women, you're just holding them accountable because you're accountable. You're leading by example. And so when you meet her and you're like, oh, you don't have a counselor? You don't have a life coach? Well, how do you work through your stuff? Like, have you ever had a therapist or a counselor? Have you ever had a life coach? Have you ever dealt with life issues and trauma and the pain and all this? You know, everybody's got stuff they've gone through. So how have you navigated that stuff to learn how to heal and have the right mindset and have the right heart, right? To renew your mind and renew your heart. I don't want to be signing up for a train wreck. A train wreck. I'm not trying to sign up for that. Fellas, are you hearing me? You got to start holding that as a standard. As you getting to know her and you're listening to her and you're like, girl, you got issues. You little cray-cray. You need to be saying to her, you need a counselor. You need to be in therapy, honey. And then it should be like, well, you crazy too. You need a therapist. I got one. I'm working on me. But what are you doing? What are you doing? Fellas, if you would start leading in that area, you would then set the standard in your life for any woman that comes along who really wants you and wants to be with you, that she has to work on her ish. It's not your job to save her. I can't save Carrie Pope. I can't heal Carrie Pope. Carrie Pope can't save Rebecca. Carrie Pope can't heal Rebecca. We each have to do our work. We each have to do our work. Both of us each have our own therapist, counselor, and we each get coaching. And then we also have a marriage counselor. Wait a minute. Guys, that's a lot of help. That's a lot of accountability. That's a lot of work. But I don't know if any of you guys who have followed us for any amount of time, we have a fabulous marriage. We have an incredible relationship. Why? Because we do the work. We show up. We hold each other accountable to do the work. And fellas, if you would set that as a standard and start leading, I said it in one of my posts for Black men. I said, Black men, we need you. We need you. We need you to lead. We need you to take the reins of this thing. And we need you to lead in these areas. Women can't lead in all these areas. We can't. We're not even built for it. Simple Films, that's usually the clapback when you try to correct them about therapy. And I love it because that would be my deal breaker. If I was single right now, guys, okay? Because I'm telling you, that was the thing for me with Carrie. I've been a coach long enough. I've studied clinical therapy long enough. I knew whoever I'm going to be with, they have to be willing to do the work. They have to. I can't be in another relationship where I'm the only one working on me. Track 73 bought a badge. Thank you, sweetheart. You're so sweet. I can't be the only one carrying us. I can't be the only one doing the work. I can't be doing my work and simultaneously trying to carry you and pull you along too. I've been in that space, guys. I've been there. And it sucks. And it's exhausting. You can't make an adult do what they don't want to do. You cannot drag an adult and make them work on themselves. We need you. Fellas, we need you. Become part of a movement, right? Become part of a movement that normalizes healing, that normalizes counseling. Do you know what we need in the Black community more than anything? We need to normalize mental health. We need to normalize getting help. We need to normalize healing our hearts and minds. And fellas, if you can pick that up and start leading, oh my God, we would see so much turnaround. We would see so much change. We definitely need to be needed. Works for me. Trex, yes. And do you know, for my husband, guys, like when I met him, he hadn't been too long out of a divorce. And just like 30 days in, talking to him and everything, dating him, I was like, I think you have like a lot of stuff left over from this divorce, from this marriage. You're still hurting. And he's like, I am. Guys, he admitted it. He owned it. He started getting help. He took one of my healing courses. In our marriage, when we started going through things, he literally, and I respect that about him so much. Guys, I was only dating him for 30 days when we had that conversation, and that just made me love him. Like I was falling in love with Carrie Poe in the first 60, 90 days. Because it was like I had never met a man with the maturity to own their own stuff. I had never met a man with the level of transparency to be strong enough to be vulnerable. Ooh, don't get me preaching tonight. Strong enough to be vulnerable, to be so confident in your strength that you can be vulnerable. See, that's a different level of strength. That's a different definition of strength. And I was like, oh, I rock with you. I can rock with this because you show me you're willing to work on you. Well, we can get through anything, right? We can get through anything. If you're willing to work on you and I'm willing to work on me, that means that we are going to be able to navigate anything together. Right? That's how I feel. I mean, I literally was like, oh, you ain't going nowhere, right? I had never met a man that was literally like, yes, you're right. I do have some unresolved issues. I do have some unresolved trauma. I'm going to work on that. How many years have you been married? Trex will be married 6 years in December. So 6 years this year. We're both divorcees. We both come through a lot of trauma and pain in previous marriages. Yeah, so we're that success story of love after pain. That's us. And we both come from the same background. Same religion, same upbringing, preacher's kids. Yep, we had so much in common. I want you to think about it, guys. And I want you to set that as the new standard. Are they willing to do their work? Because at that point, it's not so much about the issues. If they're willing to do the work, right? Seema says, healing is my new flex. Keep your cars and houses and abs. I need to see your emotional resume. And it made me fall more in love with him, guys. I'm just telling you the truth. It made me fall more in love with him when he was willing. Because I knew I was willing. I just needed a partner to match me with that. I needed a partner. All right, guys, I love you. Blessings in abundance. Don't forget, we have the new Works Healing class coming up. The Work Master class is coming. How to heal your heart and mind for abundant life. Fellas, listen, it's a great start to kick off your healing. If you don't have a therapist, you don't have a coach, you're not, you know you need to get going in this area, right? You know you need to start showing up emotionally. You know you need to do some work. Join Carrie and I. Carrie is going to be teaching half that class, guys. Fellas, you're safe to join the Work Master class. So make sure you get on the list. It's going to be a link is going to be up above the video. I love you guys. Fellas, thank you so much for joining our conversation tonight. Thank you so much. It's been so enlightening and so fun. Blessings in abundance. I love you guys. Thank you to everyone who bought a badge and supported the live tonight. Next week, we are starting the live show. So we're going to have a guest. It'll be an announcement. Make sure you get on our list. I'll send out an announcement for the live show. I think it's going to be Wednesday next week at 7 p.m. Wednesday next week at 7 p.m. Awesome 5 years for me in September. Awesome Trek 73. Congratulations, love. All right. Love you guys. Blessings in abundance. I'll see you next week for the Rebecca Lynn Pope show live with a guest next week. I'll see you next Wednesday, 7 p.m. for the live show. Hair Genius bought a badge. Thank you, baby. I love you guys. Chanita, you bought a badge. Thank you, sweetheart. You guys are so sweet. Listen, make sure you sign up, okay, for the Work Master class. Sign up. Get on the wait list. It's going to sell out. You know Carrie and I's courses always sell out, guys. And it's not going to be expensive. It's not. It's for the 8 weeks we're going to work with you. What it breaks out to, like if you were paying for therapy sessions and stuff, you can afford it. All right. All right. I will. I'm going to save it, guys. I'm going to save it. It's going to be on my page and I'll upload it onto YouTube. All right. Good night, guys. Blessings in abundance. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.